We are live, everybody. RIZIN 26. It is finally here. I felt like it was never going to show up, man. It's been a long day. It's been a long end of 2020, this whole year in general. But we are here. It is intermission time. We've had 6 fights down so far. Fun stuff as usual. How you doing, Pat? Stat Pat is here with me, you guys. Drake Riggs and Stat Pat on the body lock. Oh, excuse me. Actually, I think that's the Cup Noodle Man. Oh my God.
That's right.
Oh my God.
That's right. How am I doing? I'm doing fantastic. If you
Good
see
to
this,
see you back.
Cup Noodle. Cup Noodle, I've been so excited for the show. I am so pumped about it. Minimal Man starting off the show as an opener was just I got, I had to do it. Had to throw on the old Cup Noodle. It's so far it's been amazing. I've loved the fights. We gotta talk about them. We gotta talk about Minimal Man, which is gonna break my heart a little bit. But man, I mean, it's that classic RIZIN New Year's Eve show, man. You gotta go big. You gotta go big. What else are you gonna do?
Clearly. I mean, what bigger way than Cup Noodle Man appearances? No better way to start things, to end things, really, to end the year, especially 2020. How perfect is that? So, all right, let's get right into it. Looking at what we've had so far, you guys, just to preface things, since we are expected to have another intermission after this and be back for you guys, of course, that means we're going to we're going to review or recap the fights that have already happened and then preview these next 4 before the next intermission. And then, of course, once that one happens, we'll, preview the last 5 and then recap those ones. Hope that makes sense. So, makes sense to me. that's how we're going along.
Make sure you got your cup noodles ready. Make sure you got the cup noodles ready, and make sure you like and subscribe because I mean we're trying to hit that big 1,000K. I would love to do it on RIZIN New Year's Eve. So please let's get that going. And with that in mind, Drake, I'll just kind of sit here for a second and marinate in this lovely outfit and let you start the recap.
Okay, let's lead the dance as I do, right? All right, so kicking off the show, we had the return of Minimal Man. Before that, though, we did have the high schoolers fight, but we didn't get to see that one. I didn't get to see that, unfortunately, because of Pat is very serious. Shane, thanks for jumping in.
Yes, Shane, I am. Thank you. I'm so serious. You see this? This is authentic. This is an authentic cup noodle costume. So you're damn right I'm serious. Yes, of course.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, what else? So, the high schooler fight did happen, though. Sakura Mori versus Eru Takabayashi. Did not get to see it, as I mentioned, but a quick submission for Sakura, who missed weight, so she unfortunately doesn't technically win. No contest for her, and loses 50% of her purse. That's just how it goes over there. I think it's a pretty good system, to make sure you don't miss weight. Not many people do miss weight over in Japan, especially RIZIN shows. So a rare instance here. Sucks for her, but you got to be a professional. Of course, she's only 17. She'll learn from this and all that. But she did get an armbar, so that's cool. And then the first official, the kickoff of the show, was actually quite sad. Yes, it was Minimal Man taking on Tsuyoshi Sudario, and it was not good. Not good for Minimal Man. Pretty much took some very hard leg kicks from the bigger man, and it shut his leg down a little bit. He had to get held out of the ring, and everything might have looked broken. I don't know if there's any. I haven't seen any updates of any injury severity there, but it sucked. He couldn't do his Minimal Man thing. He looked like a 44-year-old Minimal Man out there, and Sudario fought very smart. Appreciate that, Casey Olsen. Thanks for tuning in, sir. But yeah, what'd you think of the opener, Pat? It was not how I thought that would go.
Man, it wasn't how I thought it would go either. I've got to take a second to just talk about that entrance. That Minimal Man entrance with the cape and the music and everything was just incredible. And I thought, this is it. We're going to see, he's older, but we're still going to see vintage Minimal Man. And the complete opposite is what happened. We got, a couple of punches, some tentative, feeling each other out process, and leg kicks just chopped him down. And then, thankfully it was still brutal hammer fist, but thankfully it wasn't a soccer kick.
Just one.
Oh my. Yeah, it was just one, but it could have been a soccer kick. So at least that didn't happen. But it's it's one of those things. Oh, TSOV pod. Yes. Confirm. Confirm. That's right. Confirm the cup noodle. Confirm the cup noodle life. But yeah, it's, you hate to see it, but Father Time catches up with everybody, and unfortunately, it has caught up with Minnow Man. Sad Minnow Man noises. That's, I'm going to sit here in my cup and just make sad Minnow Man noises. But I'm glad we got to see him. I got the entrance, the build up, the interviews. I loved it. But yeah, I mean, please, Minnow Man, please just do that entrance. Get in a younger fighter, bring him up, and just do that entrance for him and just be in his corner, man. That's just, that's how I feel.
You can just open the shows. I mean, I'm fine with that. Yeah. It's weird though. I mean, to talk a little bit more about it before we pass over here, but like he really limited his entire arsenal for this fight because going in when it was announced, no elbows for it, and then he wears shoes. He wears the wrestling shoes out to this fight, which the new rule that passed earlier this year that you cannot throw kicks of any kind when the shoes are on. So it's like he was down to his punches and grappling, which doesn't help. It does not help him.
No, especially when his opponent is 71 pounds bigger. I mean, don't get me wrong. We know Minnow Man is the giant killer, right? But he's 44. He's not young Minnow Man. And yeah, he limited himself there, and I'm not sure. I'm not sure what he was thinking. And Steve, if I'm butchering your last name, I'm sorry, Chovanek, he got dead-legged on the second calf kick. Yeah, he kind of did. He really kind of did. It just, one of those things where it was hard to see. He wasn't even checking a lot of those kicks either. He was just eating them. It was just bad.
It was rough for a truly an icon of the sport. Terrible debut for him. Very, very upsetting. What kind of wax do I use, Alan? Yeah, we appreciate all questions here, sir. This is New Year's Eve. Having fun. Thank you. New Year's Eve. I use Dubs mustache wax. I think it's DUBS. There might be two B's in there. I've had it for a good while now. I'm very good at making it last. So if you want to look into that, I would recommend it if you have a mustache of your own, sir. So
and it's very hard to see this very crappy mustache that I'm sporting, but I use cup noodle broth.
We're calling that a mustache?
We're calling yes, we are. And cup noodle broth. That's what I use. So in case that was for me, just in case.
Yes. All right. So Casey, bringing up the question of, does Ulka pass a test? Let's just go right into that one, I guess, and we'll skip back to some of these other notable moments. Ulka Sasaki and Kenta Takizawa, last MMA fight that we just saw before this amazing performance from Yoshinari. But Ulka versus Kenta, yeah, I mean, for a return and a layoff that he had after a severely broken jaw, I would say so. I didn't think he looked amazing. He almost got submitted there late. A big scare. That was tight. Got me kind of jumping out of my seat for a second. Started off really strong. I thought he slowed down towards the end, which is potentially why he got caught. I think I was seeing your comments on Twitter. You were thinking he was looking a little bit slower, where Kenta came on stronger as the fight went on. But, I mean, well, first of all, dude, he looked huge. He looked massive compared to how he used to look. I mean,
he looked as big as this costume.
Yeah,
it was insane.
Yeah,
it was nuts.
Did not look like a former flyweight whatsoever. Really packed on the muscle during this time away. But not a bad win, not the best win. But it was good. It was fine. He rightfully won. But what do you think about it, Pat? It was good to see him back. Definitely.
Yeah, no, it was great to see him back. And, we had talked about this on the last show in terms of, if he comes back and he has the right mental game, Ulka is a beast, right? 2 years ago, it was only 2 years ago that he beat Manel Cape, who, let's not forget that. So he came back, and in that first round, he looked amazing. He looked like reborn, strength there. He was landing all the right shots. He was doing the right things. Second round, also pretty dominant. And then he kind of gassed. And it's one of those things where, Frank Trigg brought it up if you're watching the English version of the broadcast of why he didn't try and go. The twisters, that was a little bit much. But why Sasaki definitely had some opportunities to try and put the hooks in and go for some rear naked chokes or do something. And he, for whatever reason, was just more about the control on the ground. And then, that really, after that moment, his performance went all downhill. He was just trying to survive. So I think it was a good bounce back still. He got the win. He looked fantastic at first. He's obviously bigger. He's probably not used to going at that pace with that much muscle on. So
Yeah.
I'm not super shocked that he gassed out. But, he's got to make sure that going forward, if he has any opportunities, he's got to just, kind of take them. I liked this risk-taking Ulka who ate some shots, who looked really good. I'd like to see more of that, but we've seen what happens sometimes when he takes risks. And he's got to, not take too many. He's got to find that balance, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, definitely. It was he started off very strong on the feet, I thought, and then yeah, I mean, you just summed it up perfectly there with how things kind of just went afterwards. So yeah, good to have him back. Of course, I don't know if that's exactly a win that will get him a title shot, which we were kind of debating when the fight was announced that well, I guess not this one as much as a fight that's coming up later. So, yeah, I got those mixed up. Excuse me. But yeah, he mentioned that he would like to face Hiromasa next. I think that's pretty good matchmaking, especially feet back under him now. He's back in the win column. Yeah, I'm fine with that fight next. So,
Yeah, I'm fine with Hiromasa. Real quickly, Casey Olsen. Are you going beef or chicken tonight? My man, you gotta go chicken. You gotta go chicken tonight. You gotta go chicken tonight. If you go beef, that's okay, but really, chicken's where it's at tonight, man. That's the broth I use for my mustache. So it's just it's what it is. But yeah, I mean, I like that fight. I also like, which brings us to an earlier fight we can transition to.
Okay.
I also like, Kuramoto looked very good tonight.
yes.
He went in there. He just put on. Man, you gotta love RIZIN to the soccer kicks. You gotta love it. This is why I wear this cup noodle costume, because you get to see soccer kick KOs. So I mean, at this point, I would love to see that matchup. I think it makes a lot of sense. What are your thoughts on that one?
Yeah,
The fight
man.
and whether or not.
Yeah, I agree. That would be very interesting, and it kind of depends on how these other bantamweight matchups here shake out that are later on the night. I guess specifically the one I was kind of hinting at, which we will get to here momentarily. But yeah, Kuramoto looked very good in specifically a striking performance from him. We were all expecting, oh yeah, here comes some sweet slams from Kuramoto, this guy who's got these in his back pocket at all times. Nope, sorry, just gonna shin kick a guy in the mouth. Sorry. I'll take that. I'll happily take that. But yeah, sorry, it sucks for the people who want to see the slams and all that. But we'll see him again soon. So yeah, no, he looked very good, especially when that wasn't the strongest part of his game. Yeah, very, very much about as good of a performance as he could have asked for, I think, in showing the diversity in his game that he's got coming along. Excellent follow-up to the sadness of the middleweight man fight, I believe.
Yes.
And yeah, I don't know, Matt. I don't know.
It's a good question, Matt. Not sure how that happened. Not sure how the Cup Noodle Man ended up with a mask of Pat Auger on his face. That's but they're all the rage now. If you want to get a mask of Pat Auger in the face, you just gotta look at any Walmart or Target, dollar store, Dollar Tree.
That's the main hotspot.
That's normally where they're at, Dollar Tree.
Speaking of Dollar Trees and the poor man's things, I mean, maybe not so much actually, because our biggest Japanese MMA ridiculousness of the night, I would say, Shibitar versus the Mystery Man, who was Hiroya, a great kickboxer. He should have won. He should have won. He actually did way better than anybody ever imagined him to.
I mean, Shibitar, the
fearless, that guy. I'll give him that.
Yeah. Steve talking about the knockdown was a thing, but earlier I'd also mentioned I wanted to make sure I found that comment. The Shibitar is a king. Yeah, I gotta agree with this statement. This was a lot of goading, a lot of taunting. Pretty sure that Shibitar was going to get just floored because Hiroya is, as you said, a legitimate kickboxer. This is not an easy out for him. And his chin held up like nothing else. It was insane. And so you've got, him just eating shots, walking through. He gets a knockdown in the first round. And then, of course, we have to talk about it. Second round, you got MMA rules going on. Drake, did you see a tap? Cup Noodle needs to ask. Official Cup Noodle question here.
Yep.
Did you see a tap from Hiroya in that fight?
I'm pretty sure I did. I don't have the best eyes at all to be answering this question as a legally blind 25-year-old man. But yeah, I'm pretty goddamn sure I saw a tap, about 2 or 3 little pats to the leg there, and the referee was right there. That was bizarre to miss that. Maybe he's blinder than I am, but I'm pretty sure that was a tap. If I know what a tap looks like, that was one.
Yeah, I mean, it certainly did. Yeah, it's, I think the ref missed it, and I think Hiroya kind of got away with that, and it ended up in a draw, which I guess you could score, because I thought Hiroya did land, more of the shots, but I don't know. That was
they quickly announced that, though, so I'm assuming they never planned on having a decision winner. That's what I'm assuming, because there was a lot of mystery around this bout, obviously.
And Steve saying, guys, I hate myself for saying this, but I want to see Shibitar versus one of the Paul Bros.
I'm more okay with that than him taking on an MMA fighter.
Yep. Yeah, I was going to say, you should hate yourself. That makes a lot of sense. So I'm totally okay with that. I don't think you should hate yourself. That's
Can you
a great
imagine
call-out.
how fucking goofy that would be? Just considering the shenanigans we saw Shibitar do. That would just be peak.
Yeah, what would Jake Paul do if he's running the ropes? It's just, oh my gosh, I can't even. And I know we're getting close to the end of the intermission here, but if you just joined us here, we're going through our first intermission show. We will be doing another one. Casey, thank you for stopping by so much. Appreciate it, my man. And if you are watching this, please like and subscribe. We got to get to that 1K. We got to do it off of RIZIN. Please, I'm begging you. You will see far more fancier cup noodle costumes if you subscribe to this channel.
Yes.
So, again, of the fights that have already happened that we haven't recapped, Drake, what if any, do you want to touch on here? Because obviously we've had a couple of fights with some, possible title ramifications, some bangers in that last kickboxing bout. Where do you want to go with this?
Well, I think we might have to hold off on until the next intermission, because it looks like things are starting back up again. if producer Jake isn't lying to us. So I guess let's hold off on that, I would say, because can't miss the action that we need to recap. But thanks for tuning in, you guys, for this first half here. Apologies for the lack of getting to everything, but hey, that's why we have another one. Hopefully, if we can, I guess, recap them maybe tomorrow, or we'll see what happens. But I guess we'll shut it down there.
and right before we shut it down, we got Tokuro versus Ota. Who do you got?
Oh, Tokuro versus Ota. Oh boy.
Rapid fire.
It's not. Yeah, it hasn't been good for the old guys. So I'm going to take Ota. Minnow Man lost earlier.
I'm with you there. I think I'm hoping that Tokuro shows up, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. And again, we're going to be back again for the second intermission show, providing that happens, which I'm assuming it will. So make sure you come back. We'll have more Cup Noodle. We'll have more answering your questions and comments, previewing, like and subscribe, do all that, guys. Really appreciate it, and we'll see you soon.